The internet, fast Wi-Fi, collaborative software, cloud computing, and well, frankly, a global pandemic that confined us at home have accelerated a cultural shift in attitudes toward the work-from-home professional. However, doing so in any capacity on a fully remote or hybrid basis demands the right tools to do so comfortably, and obviously with a good degree of style. A good work-from-home setup is tailored to your profession and personal tastes, but there are some essential pillars or cornerstones we suggest for the optimal home office. And today, we've created our own example to provide some ideas you can pick and choose from to outfit your own work-from-home space. So without anything further, let's jump right in. The real cornerstone of any work-from-home setup is a computer, regardless if that's a Mac, PC, or tablet. For the purpose of this guide, we're going to assume you already have a computer and could use a few recommendations for supplementary tech. The Master and Dynamic MW75 over-the-air headphones offer a beautiful mix of quality and noise cancellation, and a highbrow look and feel that we can certainly get behind that won itself a Red Dot Award in 2023. I mean, just take a look at how beautiful these headphones are. Lambskin leather for the headband and ear pads, aluminum and tempered glass for the ear cups, anodized aluminum controls and hardware. Unlike most other headphones around this price point, they feel tangibly premium in hand and not at all, well, plasticky for lack of better words. Officially, they weigh in at 338 grams or about 12 ounces, and that's roughly the average weight of your run-of-the-mill bicycle helmet, for some context. In terms of tech specs, you're provided state-of-the-art active noise cancellation with adaptive sound to tailor the ANC to the level of noise in the environment, 40mm beryllium-coated drivers for high-fidelity sound, up to 32 hours of playback per charge, 4 beamforming microphones for crisp sound input when taking work calls and video chats, Bluetooth 5.1 for dependable wireless connectivity, and full control with their own Connect app, where you can adjust sounds like EQ, ANC modes, and a slew of other customizable options. Plus, they come in this plush rounded carry case we happen to like as well when you do eventually find yourself called into the office. Your noise-canceling headphones won't always be on your person, and seeing that you paid good money for the tech, you should have a dedicated docking station, a headphone stand, to properly store them on your desktop without having to store them in a travel case each and every time. We've picked the Grovemade wood headphone stand in walnut, which combines soft, vegetable tan leather pads and a 304 stainless steel and American walnut skeleton to keep the cushions of your headphones protected and the whole apparatus firmly planted on your desk. A headphone stand's utility is going to be pretty standard across the board no matter which option you choose, but in terms of aesthetic appeal and build quality, the Grovemade unit is certainly at the top of our list, and it's fully American made. Designed by Grovemade in Portland, Oregon, with steel made by partners in Portland, Oregon, and then assembled and manufactured in Dundee, Ohio, and Hiawatha, Iowa. The Grovemade headphone stand stands at 9 inches tall with a 5.75 inch depth and a 3.8 inch by 4.5 inch base and weighs about 2.25 pounds. Again, substantial enough to prevent accidental tips. And Grovemade also provides 3 other wood finishes like oak, maple, and black walnut to match your other already curated work-from-home desktop essentials. A lot of folks use a laptop as a work-from-home computer, especially if you're a hybrid employee in and out of your home office a few days a week. Keeping your laptop near eye level is imperative to avoid back and neck strain. Plus, we'd venture that none of your coworkers are all too keen on seeing up your nostrils during your weekly check-ins. Adjacent to our Grovemade headphone stand is our Grovemade laptop stand in matching 7-ply walnut and stainless steel. This time also American-made and assembled in Waynesboro, Minnesota and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From edge to edge, the Grovemade laptop stand spans 15 inches across the main surface, accommodating laptops as large as that, with a maximum width at the rear base of 20.5 inches and a maximum height, again at the rear angle, of 6 inches. This angle allows you to adjust your laptop screen to a flat 90 degrees and comes with a few other considerations like a leather and stainless steel stop to keep the front edge of your laptop protected, cork feet to keep your desktop surface or desktop mat in good standing, and a wholly overbuilt approach that can withstand 200 pounds of force, which will no doubt stay firmly planted even with accidental bumps. Now, right in front of our Grovemade laptop stand is Orbitkey Desk Mat that houses a few really handy work-from-home desktop features within an outwardly simple design. First, this is the black vegan leather version, and this is the medium size with a length of 27 inches and a depth of 14.5. There's also another larger size at 35 inches if you need the extra room. That being said, 27 inches is more than fine to house a standard size wireless keyboard and a mouse like we have here. We did mention special features, the most visible of which is this magnetic cable holder and its track that doubles as a toolbar to house a few writing instruments or thin tools. Since this track is magnetic, all you need to do is push and pull the actual clip to reposition. It's easy enough to do so, but the magnets are strong enough to stay seated in place once you dial in the right spot. Now let's say you deal with a lot of paperwork. Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? This desk mat doubles as a paper organizer. From edge to edge, it's wide enough to fit about 3 A4 sheets side by side, and you can stack a few on top of each other without affecting the thickness all that much. You'll also notice that there's this material at the base, and that's recycled PET felt, which gives the mat just a bit of padding under the polyurethane surface. Plus, this bakes in a little bit of padding for your forearms and your wrists while typing away at the computer. And as a last note, this vegan leather is pretty durable and waterproof, so no worries about the occasional coffee spill. The desk mat also ships all rolled up and is prone to some curvature right out of the box, as you may be able to tell here, so just expect it to take a while, perhaps up to a few weeks, to fully relax and lay completely flat. Now onto some smaller, supplementary work-from-home EDC essentials now that you have your big pieces of tech situated and protected. If you're the type of work-from-home professional looking to channel Don Draper from AMC's Mad Men, the air of a 60s advertising executive, you have to have the YSTUDIO Classic Revolve Rollerball Desk Pen within arm's reach to take care of business while you sit in your Eames executive chair. Alright, perhaps that's a bit of a cliche, but while it does look damn good, it's actually a perfect work-from-home desktop pen because of the flat chamfers that are designed to stay on the surface of your desk without the possibility of rolling away and falling off the side. YSTUDIO crafts a number of Revolve rollerball pens, this being the classic brass version without any sort of paint or finish applied to the exterior. As such, it lets this alloy's beauty shine, and with regular use over time, the outer casing will develop a ton of character, aka a patina. Speaking of the brass, the beauty of the machining is what elevates the classic Revolve. Take a look at the rounded chamfers at each peak, as well as the end cap housing the screw-down copper cap, which holds the cartridge in place. The pen measures up at 0.43 inches thick by 5.12 inches long with a weight of 1.16 ounces in hand, and while that is fairly lightweight for a full brass build, it feels balanced and apt for extended use if the need does arise. And if you ever run out of ink, just make sure you have a few Schmidt rollerball or standard rollerball pen refills stocked up in the desk drawer beside you. Normally, we would recommend a desktop weekly planner over a generic blank notebook, but we are halfway through the calendar year, and doing so would leave you with only a few months to populate before needing another for the upcoming year. So, in this case, we are going to recommend a simple blank notebook to set reminders, jot down your thoughts, and schedule tasks. Ezra Arthur offers a small 5.45 inch by 3.75 inch premium leather-bound notebook, ours here in whiskey, but available in 5 other leather finishes, and offers 128 thin but super durable 52 GSM acid-free Japanese-made Tomoe River pages. What we like best, however, is the approach. The pages are largely blank, but Ezra Arthur provides a guide or a backing that you can use to pen your own. The pages are thin enough to see through, with this blacked out guide tucked behind, which allows you to write in a straight line without the need for actual lines on the page itself. It's an extremely simple concept, but combined with the durable Tomoe River paper, it works seamlessly. And before we move on, you'll probably want to keep the leather cover, which will break in and age beautifully over time, so Ezra Arthur includes page refills, so you don't have to keep picking up a brand new notebook each and every time you fill the pages. We love knives, surprise surprise, but the PM2 probably doesn't have much of a place on the everyman's work-from-home desk. We make no assumptions, it very well may depending on your line of work, but for the most part we maintain that Craighill's premium desk knives are better suited for small day-to-day home office tasks like letter opening. Craighill's approach here stems from the Japanese Kiridashi knife, and that's a fixed-blade utility knife for small, intricate tasks. Combine this form with Craighill's penchant for crafting premium home goods and everyday carry, and we get a super unique knife. This 5¼ inch tool is a solid piece of metal, and it feels remarkably premium in hand as a result. As you can see, the cutting edge is quite short, and the angle is quite steep, with 8 or so rings for grip all the way back to the end of the handle, and this taper maxes out at just over ½ an inch in width at the base. Sharpening the brass version will be a bit trickier than stainless, but not impossible, and they offer both vapor black-coated stainless steel options and raw stainless steel options, which will be easier to sharpen up from time to time as you would any other steel pocket knife. It's really handy to have an EDC tech organizer in your backpack, and it's also just as handy to have one on your desktop to organize cables, charging bricks, pens, earbuds, notebooks, and more when not in use, and Orbitkey's second-generation portable desk organizer, the Nest V2, does just that and does so with a copious amount of style. We'll take a look at the exterior first. The 2nd Gen Nest uses a very similar design, well basically the same design as the Gen 1, but improved the wireless charging speed now with a maximum 15 watts for Android devices and 7.5 watts for Apple devices. On the back left is a USB-C for supplying the Nest V2 with power, and yes, you do have to keep it plugged in, it doesn't use a battery. But then it's as simple as mounting your Apple device, like a phone, earbud, or watch, as you would any other wireless charging pad. You can even take the cap completely off by pushing the zinc hardware and undoing the elastic closure, and still use the charger while accessing the interior at the same time, since the USB-C is built into the lid. To the right is a simple non-charging pad for all intents and purposes that acts like a catch-all, and the whole thing is fashioned from real leather. On the backside is a Velcro strap for holding a stylus or a pen, by the way, and there's another inside for wrangling cables that are also repositionable. Alright, now the interior is lined with a soft, suede-like, felt-adjacent textile that will house the 6 movable dividers, which you can position based on the size of your EDC item to stay secure, in place, and organized. That being said, you can very well just as not use them at all. At the end of the day, we love just how reconfigurable and modular the Nest V2 is. You can use it with the top on, with the top off, as a wireless charger or just as a tech organizer, and its compact size allows you to take it on the go to the office as you would any other EDC pouch, as the overall size is 9.5 inches long, 4.75 inches wide, and only 1.5 inches tall. A perfect size for a backpack. Okay, so we're about halfway through our guide, so we're going to hit pause, step away from the computer, crack the old back, and prepare a quick lunch with a little help from Kershaw, today's video sponsor, by way of their fully blacked out 6-piece kitchen block set. Now the actual block is made of solid wood with a thick black coating. When the knives are seated, with the all-black uber lightweight polypropylene handles the only component showing, the entire setup is fully blacked out. This is actually a 5-knife set, the 6th piece counting as the actual wooden block. You're provided with an 8-inch chef's knife, an 8-inch bread knife, a 6.5-inch hollow ground santoku, a 6-inch utility knife, and a 3.5-inch paring knife. The 8-inch chef's knife is the most versatile blade that Kershaw provides, great for chopping, cutting, slicing, and dicing, and is also the longest straight edge that's offered. The bread knife, sporting plenty of serrations to cut through thick crusts. The Japanese-inspired santoku is much like a chef's knife but shorter and better for precision tip work. The utility knife is a great small all-arounder, and the last blade is a small paring knife for peeling, mincing, trimming, and fine slicing. Kershaw employs carbon DIN 1.4116 stainless steel manufactured in Germany, widely used in kitchen knife spaces as it's extremely corrosion resistant and really easy to get incredibly sharp with very little effort. Now, one note before we do move on, stainless or not, steel is prone to corrosion over time, so make sure your knives are fully dry before seating them inside the block. This will also prevent bacteria from growing inside the block in the hard to reach slots from dirty water or leftover food. Alright, now that our lunch break is over, it's back to work. From time to time, we like to brew an extra cup of coffee to keep the morning's momentum going into the afternoon, and we really love Hasami Porcelain Mugs for the desktop. They're not only simple and beautifully thrown, but they've been designed in High Consumption's backyard, Venice, California, with manufacturing overseen in Hasami, Japan. The Hasami 15-ounce mugs are just over 3 inches wide and just over 4 inches tall, sturdy and strong, handcrafted from a porcelain and clay mix, outfitted with only a slight bevel on the bottom face for stacked storage, and are perfectly dishwasher and microwave safe for easy cleaning and reheating. Our Orbitkey vegan leather desk pad is waterproof and coffee-proof, however, your desktop may very well not be. To avoid stains, water rings, and heat damage, we would suggest the set of 4 US-made Merino wool square coasters by Grovemade. You may have heard Merino before, and that's simply the type of sheep that grows this type of wool year-round. It maintains some unique properties that makes it great for any water-wicking and insulating products. These coasters come in all different colors, and a pack of 4 will run you just under $30, and in our experience are far better than leather and cork for keeping the surface of our desk dry and stain-free. At least as far as Apple computers go, we're seeing less and less broad-spectrum port options natively built into their machines. Gone are the days of laptops including SD card readers, USB-A, Ethernet, HDMI, and in some cases even Thunderbolt. So, you'll have to resort to a hub, and Anker provides the 8-port, highly portable 553 for just such a need. And here's what the 553 provides: 100 watts of power delivery in case you want to use the 553 as a go-between to charge your MacBook, dual 4K HDMIs and Ethernet port, 2 USB-C 3 data ports, and an SD and micro SD card reader in a thin, very highly portable package. Here's a few other advantages besides the slew of port options. First, it acts as a MacBook charger, like we said, with 100 watts of input and 85 watts of output. And second, the HDMI support full 4K footage at 60 Hz and allow you to connect dual displays. Plus, the icing on the cake is that Anker's design MO largely matches that of the matted aluminum Apple MO, so you can keep your tech kit looking as cohesive as possible. While we're on that point, Samsung hands down manufactures a high-consumption staff favorite portable storage option, the Samsung T7. Safe SSD technology, USB-C 3.2 infrastructure, fast transfer speeds up to 1050 megabytes per second, an extremely minimalistic, highly stowable design, about as thin as a few quarters, in other words, just about as thin as an Apple AirTag. Samsung offers the T7 in a few options: 500 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, our recommendation, and 4 terabytes, and in matted metallic colors of gray, red, and blue. Plus, if you need the extra security, they also offer up the T7 Touch with a built-in biometric fingerprint scanner. In our book, it should come as no surprise that a watch is a must-have essential no matter the time, no matter the place. But there are some folks who would prefer to keep a metal bracelet as scratch-free as possible. And hey, we understand. When typing away on an aluminum laptop keyboard like those of a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air, sometimes this is an unfortunate happenstance. So you're diligent about taking your watch off every time you go to do some work, but would prefer to still have a piece at your disposal to tell the time? Remember clocks? Well yeah, they're not just for the wall or the bedside table. the desktop can be an excellent place to, well, place another timekeeping device, and Shinola out of Detroit manufactures a knockout piece. The Shinola Detroit Runwell desk clock drastically sizes up one of their most popular wristwatch designs and sizes down the larger Runwell wall clock and employs a continuous sweep quartz movement, opts for a coated matted zinc case instead of stainless steel, and provides a case-matched black wood stand. The fully matted black dial really allows the raised Arabic numerals and bright yellow sweeping seconds to pop out, providing excellent contrast for really quick readability, and the horizontal yellow Shinola Detroit logo is just iconic. Oh yeah, and check out the loom. And standing about 6.5 inches tall with the stand and about 4.5 inches wide at the base, we also think it's just about the perfect size for the desktop. For most of us, our home office is just that, inside the home, unless you are one of the lucky few who can call the outdoors the office. For us here at High Consumption, we like to outfit our workspaces with curated pieces that can bring some of the outdoors inside. And the Buck Mason Lone Pine Candle, a piece from one of our favorite men's clothing and style brands, one that's located right here in Los Angeles, is one of those pieces that make complete sense on the desktop. We like that Buck Mason named it after Lone Pine, California and the foothills of Mount Whitney, a location that we're quite familiar with being based in California ourselves, albeit a bit further south. Second, the outer is full ceramic and really rugged looking, with Buck Mason's logo type stamped into the side under the black glaze. Once the hand-poured 10-ounce coconut wax runs out, you can just as well use the vessel over and over again with a new wick and new wax. You can probably already tell what this candle smells like by the name alone if you ever spent any amount of time in the woods or say cutting down your own Christmas tree. Buck Mason has done a remarkable job of capturing the scent of the woods, with warm olfactory notes of pine and cedar. In order to actually light your candle, especially as the wick starts to drop to the bottom, an inverted lighter is actually quite handy, and Dissim makes a fantastic option. First off, it's just a cool looking design, function aside. The gray and black rubber and metal build, the trigger ignition mechanism, the circle grip point. Second, it takes butane and shows you just how much is left with a helpful reservoir window, and we found that of the 1 ounce of fuel that it takes, there is little to no evaporation that happens like normally occurs with the classic flint wheel from Zippo. It does seem like the seals are far better in this regard. Third, the low temperature flame is fully adjustable and the operation as well, with just one hand. And of course, as the name plainly lays out, use the lighter right side up or upside down without any issues. Our last work from home EDC essential is a desk lamp. The use case and utility for this essential is, again, pretty obvious. At one time or another, any work from home professional is going to need a bit of illumination. And designer Andrew Ferrier out of Montreal, Canada, partnered with Gantri to bring the Gantri Gallery Task Light, well, to light, to provide 600 lumens of warm, 2700 Kelvin, fully dimmable illumination. Gantri has built an excellent brand. Partnering with talented designers like Ferrier in the lighting space, they continuously explore new sustainable manufacturing processes and large-scale 3D printing techniques that are incredibly admirable, and their clean lighting options are easily some of the most attractive on the market. Safe to say, our staff are huge fans of the brand's lights. The most unique aspect about the Gallery Task Light is the material that it's made from, a plant polymer. In layman's, an organic material made from sugarcane they've sourced from farms in Thailand. Sustainable, yes, but also it makes the lamp quite lightweight. Plus, it's hand-assembled in San Leandro, California, the use of American manufacturing, a consideration we here at High Consumption absolutely love to see. The Gallery Task Light stands about 21 inches tall and at the widest point uses a 7.5-inch base. The head allows you to swivel the light 360 degrees and the attachment point rotates around the central post axis, which provides a handy amount of angles, basically allowing you to point the light in any direction. And as a last note, we love the use of a stepless dimmer, allowing you dozens of possible brightness modes. Even if you work full-time out of an office now, chances are you'll have the opportunity to work remotely at some point in your career. So we do hope you can use this guide as a springboard to craft your own ideal work-from-home setup when the time comes. As a team of writers and creatives, we understand just how imperative a personalized space is for productivity. So we'd absolutely love to hear how you've approached your own home office space. And as always, we put together even more great work-from-home gear guides on our .com, so make sure to head there next if you haven't already.